Amandla. Gosh. I'm going to be the program director for the day. My name is Susan Shabangu, the Minister in the Presidency for Women. Hello? Hello in the white tent, hello? President Waro now fitlile ha re duleng mo fatshe. Hello? Ha re duleng mo fatshe. Teboga, can you give us one more song whilst people are moving in?
Hey! That's why. Oh, that's why. I remember my mother was a kitchen girl. My mother, hey, that's why I'm an AMC. I'm an AMC. Put it in your time.
Thank you very much. Bomme, haridule mfatshe. Our program is about to start. Premier One Northwest. Premier One Northwest, can you come to the front? Premier One Northwest, come to the front. Hello? Haridule mfatshe. Masihlale phansi. Sesiyaqala uhlelo lethu. Hello? Thank you, Premier. Come and take your place in front. The tent on the left. Ke kopa le dule fatshe. Marshals, help us gore ba thole. We're about to start our program. Marshals, help us on the left. Batho ha ba kena ba ska etsa lerata, program ya rona ya simulla. Sanibonani bo mama na bo baba. Sanibonani bo mama na bo baba on my right hand side. Dumelang. Hello. Thank you very much. We are just about to start our program celebrating our Women's Day. We are celebrating 59th anniversary of the Women's Month. Kasheku lena re tlo keteka letsatsi la rona la bomme ha ne ba matjha ba ya Pretoria. You are all welcome. Ke khupela ngokuzithoba okukhulu sisukume and observe moment of silence, remembering all our people, our stalwarts, our women who have passed on, who contributed to the struggles of South Africa. Hari emeleng bommeli bontate, sizokwazi ukuba ne moment of silence. Masibe nomthandazo omncanyana nje, ngicela sisukume. Thank you very much. May you sit. We are welcoming the new from the box, the new president of the Women's League, Bathabile Dlamini. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We are starting with our program today. What I'm going to do, we need to open our day. We're going to have our choir from the correctional services. What they are going to do first, they are going to sing the African Union anthem. South Africa being part of the continent, re part ya continent e ya rona, yaanong go na le pina ya setšhaba ya continent e ya rona, re tla simolola ka gore choir ya rona ya correctional services ba re binele pina ya setšhaba ya continente. Ha ntse re eme yalo, ba bine pina ya rona ya South Africa ya setšhaba e leng Nkosi Sikelela. Yaanong ke tlo kopa kaofela sisume ngoba sesizawucula ingoma yesizwe. Sizawuqala ngengoma yecontinent yethu yonke. Sithi sisame njalo sicule ingoma yethu yesizwe. Masisukumeni ngiyacela ke ichoir yethu izawuqala zimbili izingoma ezizawucula phambi kokuba nihlale phansi. Africa, halala. Halala, makhosikazi, halala. Halala, Women's Day, halala. Wathinta imbokodo. Wathinta imbokodo. Thank you very much. We are here today re tlo keteka letsatsi le botlhokwa gagolo in the history of South Africa. Ke letsatsi le botlhokwa la bomme ba ileng gore ka letsatsi le ka 1996 they marched to the Union Building to express themselves against the repressive laws of our country. So as we are here today, we are celebrating that. But we are also here to reflect on the successes we've had when it comes to the emancipation of women, to the advancement of women, but also take stock. What are the challenges we are still facing as a country? Without any waste of time, may I welcome all of you. Take this moment to welcome the President of South Africa, President Jacob Zuma. Take this moment, we are blessed today. We have our Deputy President of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa. Reskabera libala, motho motlhokwa gagolo mo provinceng e ya Freistata, mo premiera wa rona is Magashule. Gosh, my people, they goes. Re botlhokwa gagolo ka sheku, re na le o mong wa di premiera tsa rona e leng gore ka nako tsotlhe a ba tshegetsa bomme le di struggles tsa rona mo South Africa. Ke mang ha e se le yena fela Supra Mahuma Pelo. O mongwe re tsamayang le yena o botlhokwa thata ke ministera wa rona wa Arts and Culture e leng gore ke ene re tshwarisaneng le yena o wentseng gore moetlo wa rona ka sheku o nne pele ha re bona re keteka yana go le go ntle thata ke ministera Nathi Mthethwa. Ke nke motsotso o go lo tsebisa new from the box leadership ya bomme mo South Africa, leadership e ntšha e leng gore e tla bua le lona la ntlha. We are blessed today. We are going to get a message of support and direction from the new leadership of the Women's League, nothing else but our president, new from the box, Ministera Bathabile Dlamini. Ke le tsebiso o mong wa lona ngwana mobu mo Freistata le ena ke leloka le lentšha ketapele e tlhaga mo Freistata, Mantombela CC, Deputy President ya Women's League. Alibongwe! Ke motsotso o go le tsebisa motho o botlhokwa thata in any organization, umama wethu obuya eNorthwest okuwukuthi uzoba ngunobhala wenhlangano yabomama. Akakabhalo kwamanje kodwa omama bathe banethemba as the CEO of the Women's League. she will be able to carry forward the struggles of women. Kimme Miyoko Matuba. Skabela Libala, Mewarona, our veterans, o sansan re le botlhokwa go nna le ena gompieno ha re le yana ba bang e sale ba re isile mme o ntse tsamaya o na le rona ka sheko o tlo re tshegetsa le ena ke mme Sophie de Brain. Thank you very much. Ooh, go na le motho o botlhokwa ko bomme le ena. What else? How can you have an organization without treasurer? Liana Munchancha, Ibila Resisa Yente Masantiana for Women's League, Elohorke Hona Fitang, what Sepisa Hore, Mukatu O Wabome, Otla Sama Isakatu Letting, Hahuta Modicheleting, Kiomung Wadi Ministara, Me Maite Nkwana, Mashabane. It was important for us to recognize them because if we don't, after they've been elected, we expect them to carry the struggles of women and make sure the lives of women changes in our country. I want to quote from Samora Machel, who said, "The liberation of women is not an act of charity. It is not a result of a humanitarian or compassionate position. It is fundamental necessity for the revolution, a guarantee of its continuity." Those women who stood up. As we are gathered here, we stand on their shoulders. They were brave, and we are the beneficiaries of those struggles of our women. Without any waste of time, I'm going to call upon our Premier of the Free State to welcome us to this beautiful province of the Free State. Premier Ace.
Amandla! Amandla! Long live President Jacob Zuma, long live! Long live President Jacob Zuma, long live! Long live Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa, long live! Long live Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa, long live! Long live Sophie de Brain, long live! Long live Batabile, Zamini, long live! Long live Bumbeba South Africa, long live! Namsabet Wagaga Genulena he. Uli Amuhela Gaufela, Mona Zamdela, Sasolburg, Freistata. Ke batla fela hore ka jenulena letsatsi lena ke la bohlokwa haholo mentwa ya rona ntse ya pele re a tsamaya side by side le bomme re le bontate re tsamaya mmoho ho fihlela bofuma bo fedile re a tsamaya re tsamaya mmoho ho fihlela hlekefetso ya bomme fedile Ratlame re be bontate ba mannete ba magonte mere a Afrika Borwa e sanatseng motho ka mmala kapa ka botona kapa botshehadi ke batla le amohela kaofela ha le boetapele bo botjha bo kgethilweng ba Women's League ke amohela di-ministera tse leng teng Comrade Nathi Mthethwa le Premier Supra Mahumapelo le bohle ba leng teng bona ba tswang dibakeng tse fapafapaneng Re a le amohela ho tswa Gauteng, ho tswa Mpumalanga, ho tswa KwaZulu-Natal, ho tswa Western Cape, ho tswa Northwest, ho tswa Northern Cape. Le lona ba mona Freistata, holo baahi ba mona Metsimaholo. Re amohela hang ka jeno lena, re amohela president le deputy president le minister tsa lona. Relaxang he, o be monate, re ketekeng letsatsi lena, re yeng pele, re ahe Afrika Borwa. Amandla.
Thank you very much, our Premier, Comrade Ace Magashule. Thank for the message. For us gathered here today, celebrating this during the beautiful day, nice and sunny. I want to take this opportunity to acknowledge, welcome all the ministers, deputy ministers who are with us today, MECs, our mayors, councillors, business people who are with us, very, very important people, you, the women of South Africa. Also to welcome the members of the media who are with us today. May I take this opportunity, give it a message brain to give us a message of support. One of our own, our veteran, our stalwart, who was one of the 4 women who were in the forefront in delivering the memorandum from the 20,000 women who had marched to Union Building. Mam Sophie.
Malibongwe. Malibongwe. Happy Women's Day. We are blessed with beautiful sunshine on our 59th anniversary. And I hope that all of us are going to spend this day in happiness. Program Director, MEC of Social Development, Ms. Sisi Matombela, the President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Jacob Zuma, the Deputy President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, Minister of Arts and Culture, Mr. Neti Mtetwa, Minister in the Presidency responsible for women, Ms. Susan Shabangu, Premier of the Free State, Mr. Ace Magashule, the Mayor of Metsi Mamulola, local municipality, Councillor Brutus Malaku. Comrades and friends, honored guests, it is a great privilege and honor that I am again afforded an opportunity to juxtapose the objectives of the broader struggle for liberation and the role women played in it, and placed its obligations on us in the new democratic dispensation. A few days ago, I had the honor to witness at the Union Building the official launch of Women's Month 2015, and this bears testimony to the commitment by our democratic government to not only advance the cause of women, but also to ensure that the historical hallmarks of the 1956 generation of women are not inadvertently expunged from our national historical lexicon. On this occasion, as we pause and take stock of the many achievements we see since the dawn of the new dispensation in 1994, it is simultaneously prudent that we remember the many generations of women who fought the gallant fight but are not with us today to enjoy some of the fruits of the struggle for liberation in general and for women in particular. At the time we dared to challenge the Pariah state, we were not protesting simply against women being forced to carry passbooks. It was a show of intent by women in that they too were not going to be abused and pushed around by an unjust regime. And we were acutely aware that the struggle for liberation and gender equality were interdependent. That is, if total liberation was to be obtained, we deemed it a matter of absolute necessity that all people, including women, ought to participate in the shaping of the desired future. It would, of course, be remiss of me to suggest that women activism against injustice only took root in 1956. In fact, as early as 1913, women stood firm against the injustices of the newly inaugurated union government of Louis Botha, with the promulgation of past laws which struck horror into the hearts and minds of our people, because past laws controlled every aspect of their lives, of houses, work, and the free movement of especially the predominantly black majority of people in South Africa. I was often reminded as a young activist of the courage and fearlessness of Mam Charlotte Matreke. She founded the Bantu Women's League, the forerunner of the African National Women's League. Mam Charlotte Matreke was also responsible for anti-pass law marches as early as 1913, and she remained politically active for the greater part of her life. There were also women that I remember who left lasting impressions on me for their selflessness, tenacity, and bravery. Women such as Josie Palmer, Dora Tamana, Ray Simons, Lillian Ngoyi, Albert Sisulu, Helen Joseph, Francis Barth, Ruth First, Raima Musa, Amina Kachalia, Bertha Gowa, Rita Nzanga, Dalsy September, Amanaidu, Liz Abrams, Mildred Liesha, and many other contemporaries sung and unsung heroines. The 1956 events and many others that followed drew sustenance from the heroic of the earlier generations of women who, against all odds, dared to challenge the mighty colonial and apartheid order, thereby creating a profound and lasting legacy for our country's history. We are here today to commemorate the 59th anniversary of that historical march. It ushered in a new era for all women in South Africa and beyond. And in 1994, when we became a democratic South Africa, the government of the day committed itself to the empowerment of women and gender equality, a non-racist and non-sexist society. It went further to enshrine in its new constitution principles that are key to human rights, gender equality, and freedom for all South Africa. I personally believe that the achievements of women after 21 years of democracy are impressive, taking into consideration where we come from. In South Africa, 59 years ago. I know that our government is deeply committed to develop and transform the economy, the economic standing of women, and has taken cognizance of the fact that much still needs to be done. And therefore, a ministry responsible for women has been created and is situated in the highest office in the land, the Office of the Presidency, as a Department of Women. But while the beauty of history is, of course, in its narration, it is my contention that history would remain ineffective if we do not take lessons from it. Elsewhere in society, the African moral ethic of Ubuntu seems to have all but disappeared. And as citizens in a modern democratic state, we are increasingly becoming less interested in the promotion and safeguarding of the welfare of others, especially those amongst us who are most vulnerable. But what is of most concern to us is that we no longer speak to our elders and to one another with respect. We no longer carry ourselves with dignity and pride. And when we do that, it means that we disrespect ourselves. We even disrespect our laws of the land, our bylaws, most things that are lawful. And my appeal today to our fellow South Africans on this historical anniversary, let us draw lessons from our past in the shaping of our very future, to which we will all aspire and to which we want to be part of. This is critical in terms of social justice, social cohesion, and nation building. As we did in 1913 and in 1956, in 1976 and in 1994. Let us again stand together in the rebuilding of our nation and fix what has gone wrong. No one else can do it for us but ourselves. There is strength in unity, and indeed together we can move South Africa forward and beyond. Malibongwe. I thank you.
Malibongwe. Malibongwe. Halala 1956, halala. Halala 1956, halala. Humonati Kasheku, reflecting for us in making sure that the history and the struggles tsa bo mme Sophie ha di wele fatshe. Today our theme, we are talking about women united in taking South Africa forward. Tshwantse re kopane bo mme. Our struggle is not yet achieved. The economic emancipation is still a challenge in our country. Yes, we've made progress. We've seen women in business. We've seen women in politics. But a lot still needs to be done. That is why letsatsi la rona le re botlhokwa yana. Ke tlo bitsa mme Mantombela to introduce our young pioneer who's going to give us a poem. Kashakulena, our future leaders, our future women. Bathi ngesizulu ligotshwa lisemanzi. Mme Mantombela.
Women's Day, halala. Alibongwe. Teboho ka mora ngwanena o ka o tlo re shapa, re ke re nyagaze. This is our day. This is our day. Tokhanyi. Hayibo ngeke sibe safe kangaka. Siyajabula njani mase ngajabuli namhlanje?
Ladies and gentlemen, I greet you. My name is Kanyisile Kolwani. I'm from Tabanchu. I'm 11 years old. Now I'll be reciting a poem about unity in diversity. Unity in diversity. Oliver Reginald Tambo. He led us out of the bushes of Angola and Tanzania. Father of our freedom. We stand tall, black, white, Indians and colored, united with our different colors. Our AK-47 guerrillas mortars thrown away into the Pacific Ocean. Children of the Rainbow Nation no longer segregated, playing chess, murawaraba together, diketo and cricket together. Unity in diversity. Oliver Reginald Tambo, let our peace be joy to you. Our unity shake your grave. Usibulisele kutata Mandela. Tell him that never and never again shall we be separated. Unity in diversity. Democracy, freedom, liberty, crime, alcohol, drugs, no future. South Africa, my beloved country, born in a country with scars, a country rich with wisdom and knowledge, a country rich with minerals and agriculture. I count my blessings as I view Mount Kilimanjaro and the Drakensberg, the Zambezi and the Lequa. I sail from Durban to Port Elizabeth without a passport. I fly from Mpumalanga Secunda to Gauteng Ekurhuleni without a permit. Democracy, freedom, liberty, crime, alcohol, drugs, no future. I am the descendant of Hector Peterson. I embrace no violence, for I know my rights. I am the fruit of the tree that was watered by the blood of Solomon Mahlangu. I do no drugs, for I know my responsibility. I am the daughter of 1976 Soweto Youth Uprising. I am the grandchild of 1960 Sharpeville Massacre. I value my independence. Democracy, freedom, liberty, crime, alcohol, drugs, no future. I am no gangster. I am a doctor, teacher, pilot. I am a drug-free child. My free education was paid for by 27 years of imprisonment and 30 years of exile. Democracy, freedom, liberty, crime, alcohol, drugs, no future. South Africa, my beloved country, I salute.
Halala masupatsela halala. Halala masupatsela halala. Comrades, Hekeng Hutlets, we now have 16,000 people inside here. Please, Hekeng, please don't try to come in. Baba Habayaka Kwana, the next, come on, the next door, come on. Halala, Freistata, halala. I'm Batung, this is our day. Just for 5 minutes.
ANC
Wena uthule ka moo o se ke wa tla o tla ikutlwa Woza 2016 woza Woza 2016 woza Ha re so tla le ka mona tebo hewa he ya ngithatha lana
Sunday Bambon, Sunday Bambon, yeah, Sunday Bambon, Sunday Bambon, yeah, Sunday Bambon, Sunday Bambon. Ha, 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 ha.
salang hantle jwale wa tsamauwa jwale batho ba modimo ha Teboho a ntse a bina yena hore the unity of women is very very strong. Teboho tlo le binela ena hore kopano ya rona re le bomme re sheba 1956 ke ntho ya bohlokwa eo. Teboho, one love, one heart.
One love, one heart, one heart, yeah. Let's get together, friends. One love, one heart, one heart, hey. Let's get together, friends. One love, one heart, yeah. One heart, hey, let's get together. One love, one heart, one heart. Let's get together. One love, one heart, answer, one heart. Let's get together, friends. One love, one
together. Let's get together then feel alright. One love, one heart. Let's get together then feel alright. South Africa, come together. South Africa, come together. South Africa, come together. One heart, and let's get together then. Ahoy, ahoy, ahoy. Ahoy! Hey! Women's Day! Hibo, 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 hibo. Hibo, hibo. We can feel it all of us. We can feel it here today. Let's get together then feel alright. We can feel it here today. We can feel it here today. Let's face to the Lord, and I will be alright. Unity!
tsamaya mona re tlo emisa mo president wa rona, but we have our young women but mona, our models of the African National Congress. Unfortunately, ke kopa hate buanza mover le ke le move so that the president must see where we are also having young women ba re latelang mona re tsamaye re le ba ra tsofala. They must come and take over. Halala, young women of Free State, halala. Habate Hanse Batajalo, Comrade Batabile, the president of the ANC Women's League, is going to give us Kibang Pakai Habate. Let them come. Where are our modelers by ANC Women's League? Our young women, where are they? Oh, ANC. Oh, ANC. We have 5,000 young girls in the whole province, and they are from different universities, and all of them, they have one motto. What is it? Education is? Asifuni bantwana la, sifuna bahambe njengomva kwethu. So you are the new president of the ANC Women's League, batlo bua le lona. You must open your ears, le mamele, and make sure that 2015 you go and recruit more young people. ANC must be strong, 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 and it must not die. The president of ANC Women's League, Comrade Batabile.
Omotuti, Opilombaka, Auli Hatira, Tipota Potire, Ompati, Beneto, Almoji Moa, Otepehi, Otep, Aldula. I'll
Halala, Women's League, halala. Hun rekreile handbag, brownie, na leng ditlhare. Ke tshepa gore monga yona mo a leng teng ha itse gore ile ko kae. Re kopa gore a tle ka mo pele a tlo e lata e na le ditlhare tsa gagwe. Thank you very much.
Mandla. Amandla. Malibongwe. Kamala makhosikazi. Wathinta abafazi.
Microphone.
Program directors, the Minister of Women, and the MEC for Social Development. The President of the Republic of South Africa, President Zuma, Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa, the veteran of our organization, and Sophie de Bruyn, the Premier of the province, Comrade Ace Magashule, and the Premier of the Northwest, the officials of the ANC Women's League, the Minister of Arts and Culture, Minister Nathi Mthethwa. I greet you on behalf of all women of South Africa. Today, as the Women's League, we want to say we heard what the President said to us at the opening of our conference. We say unity is paramount in our organization. We say unity is sacrosanct, and sithi noma ubani ofuna ukuhlukanisa angeke akwazi ngoba iAfrican National Congress yakhelwe esisekelweni seunity. Sifuna ukusho futhi ukuthi iWomen's League akuyona iorganization yabangani, iorganization yokwakha umbutho, iorganization yokuvikela iANC. Mangabe kunamalunga ethu afuna ukukhala awakhale ngaphakathi kodwa aphume ngaphandle ayolwa adefende umbutho we-African National Congress. Sifuna ukusho futhi ukuthi
simisele ukuletha amakhosikazi amancane namantombazane ku-Women's League. Sifuna ukuba nembono emisha kwa-Women's League and si-committed ukukhulisa inhlaka ezizokwenza kube nomehluko eSouth Africa. Siyayiqhenya ngokwenziwe iprovince yalana ukuthola amakhosikazi amancane aphuma e-university. Sithi wonke amakhosikazi noma ngaba se-university noma ngaba semakhaya noma ngaba ase-factory noma ngaba asesontweni siwafuna ekukhongolose, siwafuna esenhlanganweni yomama. Simisele ukugqugquzela abantwana bethu baye esikolweni, ukugqugquzela abantwana bethu bangadli idakamizwa, ukugqugquzela abantwana bethu bahlale emakhaya bangabi uvanzi. Simisele ukulwisa i-violence against women le ethe chithisaka eSouth Africa. Men must think before they abuse women in South Africa. Because of the campaigns we are going to take as the Women's League, we are going to rally around and mobilize women and ensure that they fight any form of oppression of women by men or any other person in South Africa. We are going to ensure that law is not expensive. We want to fill in all the courts where the issues of women are going to be decided upon, more particularly issues of violence against women. We call upon all fathers to pay and support their children. And if they don't want to do that, we are going to bring them to book. Amanda! Amanda! Malibongwe! Wathinta abafazi! Thank you very much.
If you are supporting one now, you are in trouble. You must start now to support your children, Banna. Otherwise, you are in trouble. We are having 50 young people here, especially girls. But of women or something, I want them to come before the president can say anything. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Banabaka. Banabale data going to be Banabale Batotola machines. President, it has been confirmed now that inside here we are 21,000. Please, House Kabatola Banale Mutiakenang. It is too much. Habatamele Banaba how Deputy Tabete. Let them come. Ke batla bana bao ba trainweng. I just want those children to fail. I give us about Debo. Honalimu, Kimani Mabinang Charlotte. Charlotte Kimani Mabinang. Debo Akova Chapel answer Banulu Saimu. Program. Now only five. President Jacob Zuma said to us this year, you must not just celebrate, you must celebrate to change the lives of the people. So here, we are having 50 young boys and girls that indeed, Metabete, you have changed their lives. So today they have been trained, they will be getting the certificate, they'll also be getting the machines. And I just hope you will monitor them and make sure, let me call them one by one. It is well with our soul. Hanyanyana fela shape hanyani. Nomsa Zondo.
Hallelujah.
Mohadi Madisa. Sipati Sillo. Lucia Mulipwa. Realebua, Miss Suzanne. Realebua, we can feel you. Realebua. Realebua. Amo Professor Realebua. Thank you very much. le ka thewa he bana ba ka president o tlo bua jwale.
is where it is where it is well with my soul. I'll read His word. It is well. I'll read with my soul, with my soul. I'll read His word. It is well, hallelujah, with my soul. Well. Oh, it is well, Jesus. Oh, it is well. I will with my soul, with my soul. Oh, it is well. It is well. Hallelujah, hallelujah, with my soul.
Halala basadi, halala. Halala basadi, halala. Indeed, gathered here today, women united in moving South Africa forward. Reborn, the empowerment of women, this is what we are doing for this country. It is good to be in South Africa. It's good to remember South Africa. The young women are going to be entrepreneurs. Now I'm going to take this opportunity. This is the time. I'm going to ask our Minister Mthethwa, Minister Mthethwa.
Thank you, Program Directors, Minister Susan Shabangu, Minister in the Presidency responsible for Women Affairs, His Excellency the President of the Republic of South Africa, His Excellency the Deputy President of the Republic of South Africa, President Zuma, and Deputy President Ramaphosa, Premier of the Free State, and Premier Ace Mahashule, and the Premier of North and Northwest, Premier Supra Mahumapilo, ministers and deputy ministers here present, the newly elected leadership of the ruling party's Women's League, led by Minister Bathabile Dlamini, Mayor of Metsimahulu, Mayor Mahlaku, ladies and gentlemen, happy birthday or happy Women's Day. Happy Women's Day. It's your day, it's like your birthday, the same thing. Happy Women's Day. I'm asked to introduce the keynote speaker for today, the President of the Republic of South Africa, in a South Africa which is free and democratic. A South Africa which is better to live in since our democracy in 1994. We say thank you to the women of our land, the gallant fighters who made their contribution to ensure that we reach 1994. Igama lamakhosikazi malibongwe. We are today launching the 60th anniversary of the March of 1956. But we are also reflecting on the role women played to land us where we are today in our democracy. On this important day, we have to remember the contribution by the women of Free State in 1913. We need to remember them by name, who influenced our leaders of our veterans, like Ma'am Sophie the Brain with us here today. We speak of people like Ma Charlotte Makleke, Ma Kabashane, Ma Kotsi, Ma Low, who made their contribution to ensure that we have 1956. But the women of this country are grateful to the sterling leadership of our president and the governing party. It is this governing party under the leadership of President Zuma who made it a point that our country has a sense of direction. We know our vision as a country today, and the majority of people in this country embrace Vision 2030 of the National Development Plan. It is that vision which is going to break the back of unemployment, of poverty, of inequality. It is that vision which is going to ensure that the program of radical economic transformation is realized. And that program, for that program to be realized, our economy must grow. And for it to grow, we have to follow the lead of President Zuma in the 9-point plan of changing the face of our economy in this country. It is under President Zuma that we as South Africa understand ourselves very well as an integral part of our continent. It is under his leadership that Vision 2063 is going to be realized in Africa. It is under President Zuma that we are going to be able to ensure that our mothers, our sisters, our girls in this country live in a free, democratic South Africa where they benefit out of this freedom. It is against that background that you saw young women here being promoted, being given certificates to participate in the economic development of this country. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, comrades and friends, join me to welcome to the stage President Jacob Mhlanganyelwa Gedleyihlekisa Zuma, uMaphumephethe, umsholozi Ncamalala.
Dulang fast in that. Thank you, directors of the program. Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa, the Premier of the Free State Province, Ndate Ace Makashule, and other premiers who are here with us, the Minister in the Presidency for Women, the Minister of Arts and Culture, all ministers, and premiers, deputy ministers, MECs, executive mayors, and councillors. The brand new president of the ANC Women's League, Batabile Dlamini, and the top 5 of the Women's League. Leadership of the ANC Women's League, and indeed all women's organizations present here. Women veterans of the liberation struggle, led by our veteran here, Sophie Brain. Traditional leaders, religious leaders, members of the diplomatic corps, the community at large, fellow South Africans, Dumelang, Molweni, Goeiedag, Sanbonani, Abusheni, Rimashoroni, Malibongwe, igama lamakhosikazi. Today, we mark 20 years since our country began celebrating National Women's Day on the 9th of August. This year, we mark 59 years since that march under the theme, Women United in Moving Women's Agenda Forward. We declared the year 2015 as the year of the Freedom Charter and Unity in Action to advance economic freedom. The focus of Women's Day 2015 is thus the economic empowerment of women. It is for this reason that we are releasing the report on the status of women in South Africa, economically speaking, the South Africa of today. Compatriots, National Women's Day provides an opportunity to track the progress made in the advancement of women and improving the quality of life of all women in our country, especially the poor and the working class. This day was designated to celebrate the gallant contribution of South African women to the struggle for liberation and the attainment of the democracy and the better life we enjoy in our country since the fall of apartheid colonialism. The origin of National Women's Day is that historic 1956 Women's March to the Union buildings. The strides we have made as a country are attributable to endless sacrifices and the courageous spirit displayed by historic stalwarts who paved the way. We are aware that there is still much more to be done to improve the lives of all women in our country, but substantial progress has been made. In celebrating that, we have come this far. We pay tribute to the stalwarts of our struggle. Charlotte Maxeke, Lillian Ngoyi, Helen Joseph, Rahima Musa, Dorothy Nyembe, Albertina Sisulu, Ruth Mompati, Betha Kohwa, Florence Mkize, Florence Muposho, Gertrude Chope, Sister Bernard Ngube, Winnie Matikizela Mandela, Sophie Williams de Brain, with whom we proudly share this occasion and many others. These patriots are an embodiment of 102 years of a relentless forward march to total emancipation, land rights, equality, justice, and democracy. Unarmed and defenseless, women challenged the might and brutality of successive oppressive regimes in order to ensure that future generations live in South Africa that truly belongs to all. Their sacrifices remind us that our freedom came about through blood, sweat, and tears. We also pay tribute to thousands of women, those names we may never know, who suffered and fought for the freedom we enjoy today. I will mention just a few. In March 1912, a petition signed by some 5,000 women in the Free State was sent to the whites-only regime Prime Minister Louis Botha, asking for the repeal of the past laws. On the 23rd September 1913, Charlotte Maxeke led a women's march in the then Orange Free State, now Free State, and burned passes in front of municipal offices. In October of the same year, Transvaal Indian women began defiance activities by hawking without licenses in Vereeniging. They crossed the Natal border and encouraged the Indian and black coal mine workers in Newcastle to strike. In 1918, women campaigned against beer halls, forcing many to close. The anti-beer campaign gained momentum years later in Kettleman or Durban in 1959, led by Mary Tipe and Dorothy Nyembe. In 1918, Charlotte Maxeke started the first formal women's organization, the Bantu Women's League of the South African Native National Congress. This was the precursor to the ANC Women's League. In 1954, the non-racial Federation of South African Women was established, which brought together women from the ANC, the South African Indian Congress, trade unions, and self-help groups for the first time. And then on the 9th August, 1956, FESO organized some 20,000 women to the seat of government, the Union Buildings in Pretoria, to present a petition against the carrying of passes by women to the Prime Minister then, the A.G. Stradom. The bravery of the women proved correct, the saying that women hold the knife on the sharp side when threatened. Musadi uswara tipa kabuhaling. They told Stradom, watinta bafazi, watinta mbogodo, uzokufa. When you strike women, you strike the rock, you will be perished or you will die. This historic march will forever remain earthed in the chronicles of the history of our country as a major demonstration by women of their determination to crush apartheid colonialism. The struggle continued. In 1957, women in Zerast revolted against passes in the villages of Dinokana, Lechopung, and Muswedi. They refused to collect their passbooks from mobile units. We also salute the women of Khopane village in Zerast, who organized a march against pass laws also in 1957. Much earlier than that, women had already been playing a visible role in affairs of many clans. We can count women, matriarchs like Mantantisi of the Batlokwa, Nkabai Kachama of Amazulu, and Matsopa of the Basotho. Indeed, South African women gave their time and commitment to the liberation movement, often at a great personal cost, without any exception of position, without any expectation of position or reward. We pay tribute to all the women of the Republic of South Africa who suffered so that the country could be free from the shackles of apartheid colonialism. Fellow South Africans, lest we forget, the Freedom Charter, whose 60th anniversary we celebrate this year, was preceded by the 1954 Women's Charter. This is a clear indication that women were in their own right among the pioneers in the struggle for our liberation. The Freedom Charter of 1955, together with the Women's Charter, which informed the development of the and influenced the 1994 Women's Charter for effective equality, influenced and anchored the fundamentals of the 1996 Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. The Women's Charter called for the right to vote and be elected to all state bodies, equal pay for equal work, equal rights in relation to property, land rights, marriage, and children, and the removal of all laws and customs that denied women such equality, among others. A second charter was drawn up through the National Women's Coalition structures and was approved at the National Conference on the 27th February 1994. All South Africans voted as equals before the law for the first time in the historic general elections of 27 April 1994, thus bringing to a close decades of struggle. It has been quite a journey in our struggle. Compatriots, harsh, repressive laws, entrenching white privilege suppressed women in many ways. To this day, black women in particular still suffer from that legacy. We have learned a good lesson from the struggle for liberation that was led by the African National Congress. That lesson is that without women working side by side with men, it would take longer to become the prosperous nation envisaged by the preamble of our Constitution of the Republic of South Africa of 1996. Also, if we are to succeed economically as a country, women must participate at both the micro and macro levels of the economy. They must not be relegated to micro operations and the informal economy, as has been the case. Economic freedom for women is imperative. Hence, the various laws we are putting in place to make the socio-economic development of women possible. Since 1994, government reviewed and developed laws to promote the rights of women. Significant progress has been made in areas such as legal status, attitudes, women's involvement in decision-making, especially at the political level, in employment, education, ownership of homes and businesses, the justice system, and economic participation. Women representation in the National Assembly moved from a mere 2.7% pre-1994 to the current 41% More importantly, women lead the country in parliament, with both the Speaker and the chairperson of the National Council of Provinces being women. The representation of women in cabinet following the 1994 general election stands at 43%, with deputy ministers at 45.9%. The local government level is showing steady progress in the representation of women. Following the 2011 local government elections, the representation of women on local government councils is at 38.4% compared to 28.2% in 2000. Women constitute about 33% of all the judges in our judiciary. The judiciary had 2 white women in 1994. Now, in democracy, there are 61 women judges, of which 48 are black women. Furthermore, we have 2 women judge presidents and a woman deputy judge president. Women constitute about 41% of the total magistrates. Women are also represented in the Judicial Service Commission and the Magistrates Commission. Women make up almost 40% of the senior management service in the public service. Diplomatic appointments of women have also equally increased dramatically. In 2001, only 8 women, constituting 17.4% of the total number, were serving as heads of missions abroad. As of last year, women accounted for 29% of appointed ambassadors, high commissioners, and consuls generals. In the private sector, the Employment Equity Report indicates that in 2014, women still accounted for only 21% of top executive management positions and 32% of all senior management positions. Women appear to be stuck at both middle and junior management levels, where they account for 45% and 43% respectively. It would also be good to have more women serving on the boards of directors of corporate South Africa, where decisions are taken about the direction of companies. There is still a lot room for improvement in both the public and private sectors towards equality, but progress made thus far is commendable. Compatriots, the Employment Equity Commission indicates that in spite of all the efforts, remnants of unfair discrimination still persist in a number of areas in our country, especially in the labor market. Women are discriminated against on the basis of pregnancy or marital status. They are also subjected to inequality with regards to salaries, especially in the private sector. The prevalence of sexual harassment in the workplace also hinders the advancement of women. These must be addressed, as all citizens are entitled to equal treatment, dignity, and respect. We also keep track of the progress made by our youth, especially young women, who also need to enjoy the dividend of freedom. During Youth Month, we showcased young women who are engineers, electricians, plumbers, and business women. We also introduced young people who are excelling in energy, defense, business, aviation, as well as science and technology. This demonstrates that we are making steady progress in education. The future indeed looks bright, as we have 99% of children aged 7 and 15 years attending school. We thank South African parents for this achievement in promoting compulsory education. The attendance figures for our mass adult literacy program, Let Us Learn, also reaches a large number of women. The report of the Commission on Higher Education reveals that overall, women are more successful in their studies. For an example, in 2007, 59% of graduates were women, although only 55.5% of all enrolled students were women. At the universities of technology, 55 of graduates were women, compared with 51 of enrollments. In the comprehensive universities, 62% of graduates were women, while women made up only 57% of enrollments. And at the universities, 59% of graduates were women, compared to 56 of enrollments. Our fight against HIV and AIDS has been among the important interventions that have improved the lives of our people. The United Nations AIDS Agency released on the 14th July 2015 a report entitled How AIDS Has Changed Everything, meeting the MDG targets. The UNAIDS said the world has met and succeeded the AIDS targets of Millennium Development Goal, Millennium Development Goal 6, and was on track to end the AIDS epidemic by 2030 as part of the Sustainable Development Goals. The organization further declared that the goal of 15 million people on life-saving HIV treatment by 2015 has been met and exceeded 9 months ahead of schedule. More importantly, the report counted South Africa as one of the countries that has made significant strides in halting and reversing the epidemic. The report announced that South Africa has turned around its decline in life expectancy within 10 years, rising from 51 years in 2005 to 61 years by the end of 2014, on the back of a massive increase in access to antiretroviral therapy. South Africa is also listed in the group of countries that have reduced the number of new HIV infections by at least 20%. In addition of the 20 million people globally on HIV treatment, more than 3.4 million are in South Africa. This is a dramatic achievement given that our country had been counted as a country that was facing enormous difficulties on this matter just a few years ago. The report further announced that deaths associated with HIV and AIDS in South Africa have significantly declined by 58% since 2010, and that life expectancy has increased from 52 years in 2005 to 61 years in 2014. Indeed, our people are living longer, and many are now able to work and live healthy lives due to the availability of treatment. However, these wonderful results, as announced in the report, should not blind us into complacency. The fight against HIV and AIDS continues. The fight against the stigma and the support for all infected and affected by the virus should also continue. Siyajabula kakhulu ukuthi izwe lethu linqonywe inhlangano yezizwe ngendlela esiqhuba ngalo uhlelo lokulwa nesifo sengculazi. Abantu abaningi sebephila kangcono manje. Noma bephila negciwane ngoba lohulumeni kaKhongolose ubanika amaphilisi aleli gciwane elaliqeda abantu kule minyaka edlule. Izingane zomama abanegciwane sezizalwa zingenalo igciwane eziningi ngoba omama abazithwele banikwa imishanguzo esindisa impilo yezingane. Impilo isingcono kakhulu impela manje. Usizi lomingcwabo ngezimpela sonto zonke ngenxa yegciwane seluphelile. Bayaphila abantu abasebenzisa amaphilisi aphuma kulohulumeni. Uzoqhubeka uhulumeni ukwenza impilo ibe ngcono emikhakheni yonke yempilo yabantu. Work also continues to improve patient care at our hospitals and clinics to ensure better services for women and children. Fellow South Africans, in June this year, our country hosted a very successful summit of the African Union under the theme Women Empowerment and Development Towards Agenda 2063. Among many highlights, the summit launched a major drive to support women in agriculture. The chairperson of the AU Commission gave each head of state and government a tiller as a symbol of the need to provide women access to modern technology, land, credit, and extension services in order to empower women in agriculture and agro-industry. The AU intervention is in line with our own programs of promoting women in agriculture. Government runs programs such as Fesatlala and provides women with needs and implements to assist with food production towards food security. Siyabahalelisela omama abalimayo abaxosha indlala emakhaya. Uhulumeni uzoqhubeka nohlelo lokubasiza ngezinsiza zokulima njengembewu, ogandaganda nokunye. While counting achievements, we also emphasize that the triple challenge of poverty, unemployment, and inequality remain a stark reality, and women are most affected. But we also note the positive impact the provision of a social wage package has had in reducing poverty in the country. Social wage refers to services provided by government such as free primary health care, no fee paying schools, social grants, most notably old age pensions and child support grants, the RDP housing, and the provision of basic services to households, namely water, electricity, and sanitation. Through these services, government cushions the poor from poverty and destitute. These continue to be among the most effective poverty alleviation mechanisms of the democratic government. They will continue to be so given the difficult global economic situation. Our own economy is still not growing enough to create more jobs. We are therefore concerned about the talk of massive job cuts in the mining and steel sectors. While understanding the economic pressure that some sectors are facing, we urge business to contain the difficulties as much as possible and not to resort to retrenchments at the first available opportunity. The retrenchments would have a devastating impact on scores of families and communities and will seriously affect the social fabric of society in many ways. We trust that business and labor will engage fruitfully in this matter. Government stands ready to support and assist wherever possible. Deputy President, compatriots and friends, I'm truly pleased to launch and release the report on the status of women in the South African economy today. The report identifies some of the areas where society has broadly been successful in enabling women's full participation in the economy, and others where there is a need for refocused efforts. It will assist us in taking stock and to improve the interventions further. The march towards social and economic freedom for women continues. The democratic government will be part of that march until victory is attained. Happy Women's Day to you all. Malibongwe igama lamakhosikazi. Thank you very much.
Malibongwe. Malibongwe. Halala Jacob Zuma, halala. I'm standing with the president here. Last year, when we were in Durban celebrating the 58th anniversary of the Women's Month, the president mandated us to produce a report on the status of women in South Africa. So I want today to say, President, the mandate you gave us to say you want to launch a report this year. We've got the report, we want to hand it over to you as the Department of Women in the Presidency. I'm handing over the report to the President as the mandate he gave us last year.
Report. Thank you.
We have kept our promise, and I want to say to those who'd like to get a copy, it is on our website. The website is www.women.gov.za. We have delivered on the promise. This is our first report. Every year annually, we'll be reflecting on progress and challenges we are facing. Next year, there'll be a second edition. So we have delivered, President, the report as we had promised. But let's take this moment to thank our President for the guidance at all times. Siyabonga mongameli ukuba usikhokhele ngaso sonke isikhathi. Ka motsotso o ke tla bitsa mayor wa rona Ntate Brutus Matlaku a khone gore a tlo re lebogela.
Program Director, His Excellency President Jacob Zuma, the Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa, our Premier in the Free State, Esma Khashule, the Hlasela leader, the Premier of Northwest, Supra, all ministers and deputy ministers, all members of the NEC, the brand new from the box President of the Women's League, Comrade Batabile, and the Deputy President Mantambela, Sitjhaba sa rona kaofela, the artists tsa rona, the media.
Welcome back to the Harry Gwala Sports Multipurpose Center here in Sasolburg. We have just had the President of the country delivering his keynote address and most importantly outlining the success and the challenges that are still remaining facing the women of the country. We have indeed come to an end of the official program of the day today. We still have, women are still going to enjoy themselves. I was with my colleague here, Patricia Visahapet. There's still a lot to be done in terms of women enjoying themselves.
Well, certainly, Palisa, a lot to be done. But as the President did mention in his address, there has been a lot of progress made, but we still have to unite as women, of course, and take the baton forward in addressing a lot of ills that continue to cripple the lives of women. But I think important to mention is the fact that a lot of people think that the 9th of August is just another public holiday, right? We tend to forget the importance and the significance of this historic day. We tend to forget that the 9th of August, in fact, is a day where we celebrate the remarkable achievements of great female pioneers. And of course, as we warm up our feet and we prepare for the 60th anniversary of that historic march of 1956, we unite as women and we look forward.